also known as CRL, for Tier 3. We're back here for the second round of the Cone Racing Championship tonight, and unfortunately it is just me, myself and I in the booth, but hopefully we'll get through it. So, quick, I suppose, rapid fire facts about Russia. 18 turns, quite infamous with both, I suppose, esports and the real-life Formula 1 drivers themselves. Not the most popular track. Last season, 2020 season, we saw the now infamous, I suppose, phrases by both Daniel Ricciardo and Lewis Hamilton. The reactions to getting their 5-second penalties. Lewis Hamilton having a bit of a complaint. Some may argue rightly so, whereas Daniel Ricciardo just put his head down and quite literally said, well, gotta go faster. So be interested to see what's gonna go on here tonight. Obviously, quite a lot of straight line action here at Russia. Turn 1 is pretty much just a kink in a straight. Turn 2 then is where the heavy braking comes in. Quite a dangerous corner at the start of the races. All the cars quite bunched up, quite close together, but hopefully we see a nice clean race tonight. Hopefully not too many safety cars, although you can never take it out of the equation, especially here at Russia. Turns 13 and 14, the kind of chicane under the bridge, quite a dangerous section. If you're going side by side through there, quite easily to catch your front left and end quite badly in a DNF, unfortunately. But as mentioned before, hopefully we won't see too many of those tonight, and hopefully we can just see some nice clean racing. I'm just going to quickly check this audio. Is everything good? We should be. Yeah, but I think there we go. Everything's all set up, and now just waiting for the cars to come out of the pit lane. So 19 drivers tonight, with the likes of Tom Tiptop, Rory Huntsman, No Fan Dangle. Let me just quickly get the results up from last weekend. Sorry about that, I'm not very prepared tonight. But last weekend we saw a absolute dominant performance by the little Juan in the Renault on his debut here at CRL. So he'll be looking to, I suppose, recreate what he could do then. In fact, actually, oh yeah, he is racing tonight. So yeah, that's my bad. Sorry about that, guys. Let's just get everything set up. And as far as I'm aware, the House of Warrior Huntsman is the first one out on track. So it's going to be interesting to see how it all unfolds tonight. And for some reason my screen's gone really small. Excuse me while I just try and fix some stuff. There we go. Unfortunately, just getting used to that Roland's teammate is missing, which as far as I'm aware, I think that is Killer94J, so won't be seeing him on the grid tonight. And also important to remember that Kierant has a qualifying 3 ban, unfortunately, for an incident in the last race, the first race of the season, back at Bahrain. So head's just not quite there tonight. But like I said, we'll follow. Was Warrior Huntsman just come back in? Who is leading this pack now? I think it is ISRL Spring. No, the little one, possibly. That is my bad. I've completely lost track of everything going on here, but I think the little one will be the first one coming out here for qualifying 1 in Russia. Turn 1, not turn 1, sorry, turn 2 quite tricky. Sometimes I see quite a few people invalidating it. We all go on board with Spunky. As you can see, so there's the start finish line. Turn 1, just this kind of right-hander on the straight. No braking at all needed, and into turn 2. Quite a long DRS. This is where I expect to see most of the overtakes happening. Turn 2, you need to be careful not to cut that corner there too much, but I think you can take a decent chunk about it, and the little one potentially having connection issues there. Not sure if that's on my end or his. Potentially host, I'm not 100% sure, so apologies for the jumping around there, but hopefully everything should be sorted. And it is important to know, actually, we see some drivers coming out on the mediums, although qualifying 1 you only need to really use softs, because strategy comes into qualifying 2. Because if anyone's new to Formula 1 or is not familiar with the qualifying rules, I suppose. The tyres that you set your fastest lap on in the second qualifying session are the tyres that you have to start on in the race, unless either the qualifying or the race start is wet. So it's always important to keep that in mind. But by the look of it, Deluxie and Luke 40 will not be qualifying into, well, will not be going into qualifying 2 and using the mediums, because I would have thought you'd want to try and save them if you're going to use them again in the later qualifying session. But anything can happen. It's Formula 1 for all we know. 5 drivers could DNF this session. It's highly unlikely. There's Little Juan with a 132.7 for the first lap of the session here at Russia, sorry. Get my tracks mixed up. 4-star not too far behind with the 133.5. Potentially a bank lap looking to improve, and Luke 40 not just starting his lap. Now I think that is a Renault, potentially Iceros Frankie on the soft tyres now, coming around turn 18, the final turn. Turn 17 and 18 actually, the last 2 corners, 2 double 90-degree right-handers, can be quite tricky to get them right. But Iceros Frankie doing a very good job, just pitting out his teammate by almost a second there, so the Renault's looking quite good in the start of qualifying 2 already. But Red Sky unfortunately invalidating his lap. Must have been validated at the end of that last lap. No Fandangle splitting the Renaults with the 132.4, doing very well to put himself up into second for now. But it is important to remember that it is only qualifying 1, so topping the sheets isn't exactly a priority, but just staying in that top 15 is what people are going to want to do. And Gavin Poynton next across the line as Crago takes first place by 5/10, and Gavin Poynton goes 5th, slotting himself between Tom and Tip Top and the Renault Little Juan, as Pimis on his second CRL appearance with the 131.8 taking second place for now. Still about 5/10 off Crago, but Pimis and Sprunky very close together. So going to be interesting to see, not only in the race, but the battle for qualifying. I think sometimes it's kind of a bit underrated how much you can kind of push in qualifying. You can try and just out-pit your teammate or potentially a rival in the league, and almost to a psychological level where it's just like, oh, look at me, I'm just that extra tenth faster than you here or there. And I think for a lot of people, especially in CRL, it's quite a close-knit league. Everyone seems to be friends. Jack had just gone a little bit wide there. Everyone seems to be friends in CRL, so I think there's quite a few friendly rivalries going around. Like as before mentioned, myself and Kieran having a bit of banter in the CRL chat. So hopefully it'll be nice to see some, even maybe not in the actual Discord, but even on track, some nice rivalry start form. If not only just the battle for first and second in the championship. But Red Sky now starting their fast lap, getting on that GS, just slightly a little bit late there, but hopefully it won't cost them too much. As I said before, it is only qualifying 1, so you just want to try and make it up into that top 15. So just a rundown of how qualifying works here in Formula 1. Qualifying in Formula 1 is consisted of 3 qualifying sessions. Qualifying 1 is 18 minutes long, and it is the top 15 from that qualifying session go through to qualifying 2, and then the bottom 5 if it's a full grid. But in, oh no, Killer J has joined, sorry. So yeah, the bottom 5 will progress, no, will be knocked out of qualifying 1, and then the top 15 will progress to qualifying 2. Qualifying 2 then is the same, but a knockout for the top 10, and the tyres that they set their fastest lap in qualifying 2 is the tyres that the top 10 will then will be forced to start the race on, as per the Parc Fermé rules. And then qualifying 3 is a 12-minute shootout to see who can set the fastest possible lap in the allotted time, and that decides their grid position for the start of the race, as I'm sure most of you know, but just in case anyone new is here, just to quickly run over it. But I've lost track of who's next. I think Faker is up next, just coming through turn 18 now, and just cuts it a bit too much. You really don't want to be putting your right tyre inside that sausage curb a bit too much. So who's going to be next? The Haas, I think. Now it looks to be the Alfa Romeo of Killer J. Nope, Killer J is unfortunately invalidated, and it is a McLaren. Gavin Poynton now just coming across the last corner, doing well not to invalidate, and he does improve only up to 8th, and pips out Little Juan by about 200ths of a second. Very well done for Gavin Poynton there, but looking back down the grid, who is up next? JD unfortunately invalidating his lap, and then McConey in the Mercedes, my former teammate. In terms of who I want, well, who I think is going to take this, it's only qualifying once, so it's a bit too early to say, but Krago is looking very good on that first lap with the 131.3. And McConey goes up to 7 with 132.4. Look how close it is between 4-star McConey and No Fandangle. Less than a tenth of a second separate the three of them. But really got to give it to Nathan and AJ setting up this league. And all of the admin team actually. The tiers this season are incredibly close, as that guy Draper. Yeah, Draper puts himself up into 5th. And Deluxe just coming across the line now, 7th with a 7th on 8 for racing points. So Deluxe just proving to his teammate he's just ever so slightly faster, but I don't think that's going to matter too much. Right now, Luke 14 Knock is on the danger zone. That's what I'm thinking of, with the 134.4 on those medium tyres. He's the only driver to have his time on the mediums, which is a bit strange, as it's qualifying 1. Not quite sure why he's used those medium compound tyres, but it is what it is, I suppose. And who was that? Kieran with the 131.7, I think that was, just come across the line. No, Killer J going through with the 131.7, actually very well done there. And then in fact, very well done to Kieran for putting himself in the second with that time. And yep, just looking at the chat now, I would also assume you're safe. So that rolling now, just on the rundown into turns 13 and 14, that kind of tricky chicane. Nope, I'm at the wrong part. Sorry, that was turn 10 right there. Turn 11 is this kind of straight, not straight. So turn 11 was that slight turn there, and then turn 12 is this slight turn to the left. 13 on the right, and then under the bridge to 14. A bit of a kind of a chicane section going under that bridge, but that Roland doing very well to keep it on the track, and seems to be pretty confident here at Russia tonight. And oh, taking a lot of that sausage kid there. I'm not quite sure if that was the best line, but let's see what time he can post, and will he be able to beat his teammate Killer J? With 131.7 is his teammate's time, and 131.9, still a great time nonetheless, and that puts him up in 7th and safe for now. But of course we still do have almost 7 minutes of the session remaining, so I wouldn't say anyone's 100% safe yet. I still think it's anyone's to take. But a Warrior Huntsman in that Haas now, just coming up to turns 15, and then 16 is this right-hander into the final 2 corners of turns 17 and 18 to round off the lap. So we'll actually watch Warrior Huntsman now as he's about to start his flying lap, and across the line he goes. And you'll see actually how, if you pay attention to that green bar down the bottom, that was a thought, and he's actually lifting off maybe a banker lap, potentially burning. I think Warrior Huntsman has possibly overfueled and is just burning a bit of fuel before his fast lap. So I'm gonna not stay on board with him for now, but a few people are on laps. Tom with Tip Top unfortunately invalidating there, down in 15th. He is the driver at risk. If the qualifying session was to run now, Arjack, Warrior Huntsman, Luke 14, Knock, JD and Faker would all be eliminated, but there is still 5 minutes remaining, so still waiting to see those times come through. And I think Isra Sprunky now just started another lap. I'm really not sure who's going to lead this. Killer J on an invalid lap, losing the real up at the end. Warrior Huntsman has left the session. I'm not sure if that was a mistake or not, but JD and VFL Faker are both on outlaps now. VFL Faker just up past, well, going through turn 3 now. And you can see JD slowing down a bit there. Just no Fandangle doing the very sportsmanlike, letting JD pass to start his lap, but then also potentially maybe wanting to steal the slipstream from him. Slipstream quite strong here at Russia, but then also going through the long left-hander of turn 3. That Dirty is going to be messing up, so you want to be close enough to get the slipstream, but not too close where the Dirty is going to start messing around with the aerodynamics and not letting you grip the road as much. But while we're watching JD go around, might as well list off some quick facts. So, in real life, the race distance here in Russia is 309.745 kilometers, which is roughly about 53 laps. Obviously, in Formula 1, they try and get the race to last about 2 hours. And the lap record, I don't think this... The lap record is currently held by Lewis Hamilton with a 1:35.7. And the slowest time set has actually beat Hamilton's time. That was 2019, so I'm not sure if this has been updated since 2020, but yeah. But as I mentioned earlier, turn 3, that long left-hander, 750 meters of constant radius left-hander. The rest of the track is characterized by a series of 90-degree bends coupled to some rapid flowing straights that, as you can see on the track map, aren't really straight. Especially that one, turn 1, the straight with turn 1 isn't really straight. It still has DRS, but it's technically not straight. So, not sure why they're calling it straight. But now, just with JD coming through the last 2 sessions, Killer J retired some session. Happy up in 4th. I think that will pretty much guarantee him a spot into qualifying 2 now. And JD popping himself in 15th with 132.9, just putting himself on the edge of the danger zone. So he's going to want to make sure that those underneath him do not improve faster than him. And VFL faking out in the AlphaTauri. Speaking of AlphaTauri, I'm not sure if many people are interested, but Alex Albon going over to DTM in the AlphaTauri liveried Ferrari. I think it's the 488, if I'm not wrong. But the AlphaTauri livery in the DTM Ferrari is absolutely stunning, in my opinion. One of the better liveries in any motorsport, I'd argue. So AlphaTauri really doing a good job to really kind of push the brand as such, because we've got to remember AlphaTauri and Red Bull aren't car manufacturers like a lot of the other teams, and VFL Fake pushing himself to 11 with 132.2. I think that might be him safe, but JD now has been knocked down to 16th, and the little Juan, our race winner from race 1, is actually the driver at risk now. So if he can't improve, he's potentially looking at a qualifying 1 knockout. As we see ISRL Sprinky jump up to 2nd with the 131.5. 5 laps on the softs to be able to set that time. Really getting that track acclimatization in there. Sorry about that, just on my words today. But Luke 14 knock in that still quite stunning black Mercedes. And on the lines of liveries, actually, won't be too long until we start seeing some real Formula 1 liveries, as I'm pretty sure the McLaren livery is now... The McLaren livery reveal is only 4 days away now. It's going to be interesting to see. I'm quite curious to see whether McLaren are going to stick to the papaya and blue, or if they... I've seen some concepts with potentially a papaya and black livery, but judging based off the kind of snippets we've seen of the Daniel Ricciardo and McLaren merch, I think they're sticking with the blue, because on the 2020 merch you could see the orange and blue going up the side of the McLaren shirts, and I think I spotted that on the 2021 shirts. So I think papaya and blue are most likely the colours. Maybe some hints of black or silver to go along with the new Mercedes engine deal, but not completely sure. As Luke 40 not just about to come across the line now, and unfortunately slower than his time, maybe burning off fuel, but now looking to really amp up the pace. Deluxe in 15th, retiring from session. So they're going to really want to hope that no one can beat their 132.2 that's below them. But right now, our Jacko looking rather quick and is 100th faster than himself in Sector 1 there. So it's going to be interesting to see if he can continue that momentum. Going a little bit wide there, but keeping it from invalidating. So very well done there. So still on with our Jacko, and we do see, so unfortunately Tomo Tip Top and Warrior Huntsman will both be eliminated in qualifying 1. VFL Fig, I'd argue that everyone from 10th up, well no, everyone from 13th up is confirmed safe now. So ooh, big crash for our Jacko there, and that's really going to put his chances on the line. And I think that's going to be him done. I think that is Jacko qualifying in 19th position for today. But can Luke 14 knock improve? He's a 10th up going into Sector 3 now. But is that going to be enough? That's not going to be enough to take him into qualifying 2. He might be able to beat Gavin Poynton, but I don't think so. No, he's going a bit too slow and he's going into the pit lane. So now it's JD and Red Sky fighting for 13th and 14th. JD has invalidated, so Red Sky, will he be able to improve his position? He's only a thousandth of a second from VFL Faker, so as long as he improves by about 2 thousandths of a second, he's already moved up 1 position. So, and I didn't quite catch the delta there, but he does. He jumps up in 6th with 131.7, and that is the Williams in 5th and 6th right now. Pemis. That's an invalidation. They're going into the pit lane, and JD going very slow. JD, if you are watching, you are safe to retire on track to get things sped up a bit. But that is qualifying 1 over and done with now. So the 5 drivers we're going to see eliminated, unfortunately, from this session are Warrior Huntsman, R. Jacko, Tomo Tip Top, Luke 14 Knock, and Gavin Poynton. So luckily, no team is completely knocked out of qualifying 2, as the bottom 5 are all in different cars. But the 2 Williams of Red Sky and that guy Draper are doing very well in 5th and 6th together, and same with the Renaults in 2nd and 4th respectively. That didn't make sense. But 2nd and 4th for Renault looking very good, but Crago with the 131.3 still almost a 10th clear of Little Juan. Will Little Juan be able to take a second, well, the first back-to-back win on CRL Season 4? It's going to be an interesting one tonight. Russia, I find to be quite a boring track, but hopefully it can produce some nice racing. But look at that. Between 1st and 13th, less than a second. And from 1st all the way down, 1st to 20th with a 2.3 second gap, not bad at all. 1st to... Deluxe, unfortunately, I think must have crashed. The 132.2 should have made it through, but yep. Unfortunately, Deluxe crashed, so they are out of qualifying 1, and that will only be 14 going through to qualifying 2. But, yeah, 1.1 seconds separates 1st to 14th. That is insanely close, and hopefully a good sign of things to come. With a grid this close, always potential for multiple race winners. And hopefully... I know some leagues aim to have a different race winner for every race. I don't think that's quite possible, but I can see quite a variety of people in contention for the championship this season. And I can see quite a few rivalries going on, even inter-league rivalries. I know a lot of the drivers race together in a lot of different leagues. Like Kieran, McConey, 4-Star, No Fandangle. I've seen them run in other leagues. Same with that Roland. Quite a few drivers have all come together from different leagues. And now it is just the wait to see who comes up, and that is McConey's pit crew. Getting ready, you can see the blankets coming off the Mercedes front right tyre there in the corner. I best get all my telemetry sorted out. And we'll actually see what tyres we have fitted. Here is where strategy is really going to come through. But it's not only really what they're going out on first now. We've also got to take into mind that some people might be setting backups, and that is a lot of cars coming out at once, led by the Renault of ISRL Sprunky. That is, I think that's, how many cars? We'll wait to see. That's at least 5 cars coming out, both the Renaults out of the pits now, so the ISRL Sprunky really taking no liberties on trying to get around the track as fast as possible. Invalidating his outlap. But I'll stay on board with him. Racing number 21, ISRL Sprunky, and closely followed by No Fandangle in the what I'm gonna say is a very, very beautiful McLaren. The 2020 McLaren MCL 35 is such a beautiful F1 car, arguably one of the best for a long time, I'd say. The papaya in the blue, and even the rainbow down the side, just on the side pod, really, really looks good. And replying to Kieran's message back when I was talking about the 2021 McLaren livery, I can see black barge boards and end plates. Yeah, I think I can see that happening. Or maybe like maybe something across the top of the Halo. I'm always interested to see how the teams incorporate like sponsorships and delivery into the Halo, because I think Racing Point with the Maple Leaf on the Halo was quite interesting, and yeah, obviously we've always seen the sponsorships on the inner ring of the Halo. So yeah, then Aerostar Sprunky just kicking off qualifying 2 now on those medium compound tyres. Is this going to be a bank lap, or is this going to be a proper qualifying lap? Because if it was me and I was looking to qualify on the mediums, I think I'd set a banker lap on softs. Maybe not use my ERS, or maybe not use the DRS. Make sure I can beat it on those mediums, and then go right out the end, try and make the most of the track evolution, and really use those mediums as much as I can to my advantage. But we might also actually see the inverse of that with some of the soft runners. Some of the soft runners might be using the tyres they used in qualifying 1 to set a banker lap now, and set the medium time later on. Wait, hold on, Killer J. Just realised, Killer J came 8th in qualifying 1, but it's not in qualifying 2. Instead, I think he's being replaced by VFL Faker. I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. Just gonna check Discord. My apologies for the lapse in commentary. I'm just trying to find out what's going on. Sorry about that one, lads. But in case you weren't here last weekend and you are not aware, CRL does not follow the traditional Formula 1 point system anymore. Instead, we have 40 points for P1, 33 for P2, 28 for P3, 23 for P4, 20 for P5, 17 for P6, 14 for P7, 12 for P8, 10 for P9, 8 for P10, 6 for P11, 4 for P12, 2 for P13, and 1 for P14, with P15 just missing out on points. So quite an interesting addition into the new season. So it's going to be interesting to see if it's going to be successful in keeping the championship battle close all the way up to the end, which, to be honest, CRL had no trouble with originally anyway. I think 2 seasons in a row, Tier 2 had the title decided on the last race, I'm pretty sure. But as usual, always nice to see some interesting racing, and we see No Fandangle leading the soft runs of 131.8, and at the moment Sprunky with the 132.6, the fastest of the medium runners, although his teammate, that guy Draper, is coming along quite nicely on those medium tyres. Who's up next? Pimis, unfortunately, invalidating his lap on Little One. I think that's Sprunky coming in behind him. The Mercedes behind them, I think that's McConey, who has set his lap. Yep, and then the Red Bull of Kieran now on a lap with the medium, unfortunately invalidating his lap. So the Haas behind him, Crago, our qualifying 1 leader, is now on the approach to turn 16. No, turn 15. That is 16, that right-hander. That is my bad. I apologise for that one. And Crago now just running off the last 2 corners, taking that corner quite nicely, just losing the rear a little bit on the exit, but doing well to keep it somewhat in a straight line, running a little bit wide, and once again P1 with the 131.56, and pipping out No Fandangle by almost 3/10 there. Very, very good lap from Crago, no stranger to being at the top of the qualifying leaderboard tonight. Looking very confident going into qualifying 3. Crago might be able to take pole tonight, but the race isn't all about, well, it's not really the start, it's where you finish that matters. So hopefully Crago can keep that going. With VFL taking it on, Little Juan potentially having connection issues, just joined back. I wasn't aware of that. My apologies, I would have invited him back. VFL Faker just now approaching turn 7. No, turn 5. So yeah, Sector 1 is from the start-finish line all the way up to just past Turn 4, going into Turn 5. Turn 5 is the start of Sector 2, which runs all the way through to Turn 12, and then the chicane of Turns 13 and 14 is kind of the start of Sector 3. So, we have to pick out, and as we said earlier, these not-so-straights, but really takes advantage of those running a lower downforce setup. But I think that's the kind of hardships of Russia. Do you run a low downforce setup and have those straight sections where you have a lot of speed and vehicle? I think just losing it a little bit there that might have cost him a tenth or two. Or do you run a higher downforce setup and get the speed in the corners? I think it's, no matter what you do, I think you're going to be losing out somewhere, so I think it's just find which driving style you're comfortable with and stick to that one. So, just VFL figure with 133.9, the slowest of the medium runs, but we did see him potentially make a mistake, so he'll be looking to improve now. I would have thought we'd see a lot of these medium runners go on to the soft, but it's important to remember the bottom 3 of the session will be limited. Yeah, I'm not sure why Killer J's not in. I'm not sure why Killer J is not in qualifying session. He definitely did make it through, and now there's only 15, so the bottom 3 will be limited. So in fact, a lot of these medium runners, I think, will be a bit safer. I'm not 100% sure on what the strategy is here, but nonetheless, it could be just see how it plays out. But I think just to have one strategy set in stone is never a good idea. Obviously, safety cars, incidents can always screw that up for you, so I think always going with a bit more of an open head. Like, have your strategy kind of laid out, be like, this is what I plan to do, but if something goes wrong, you kind of need to be able to adapt, and I think that's where real Formula 1 really starts to get quite, what's the word, complicated in a way where it's not just the, okay, look, you drive this many laps with this amount of fuel with these tyres. It's depending on the circumstances of the race. Like, of course, there might be, I don't know, for example, let's have a look at Mugello in the 2020 season. Nobody would have expected that to come from the safety car, and I think that urged a big change in strategies for a lot of people with the red flag and stuff. So I think strategy should always depend on circumstance. You shouldn't, in my opinion, going in and being like, this is definitely what I'm doing, is quite a dangerous game to play. But Pimis going up into third now with a 131.869, 200ths off the McLaren no Fandangle, and Pimis and Sprunky almost racing out of the pits. There's Sprunky and the racing point of 4-star on a lap on the soft combiner tyres now, just coming up to turn 7, I think that is. No, my apologies, turn 5, I always get turn 5 and turn 7 mixed up, my apologies for that one, sorry guys. But 4-star now on the run down to turn 8. So that left-hander there, that's technically 2 corners. You've got the initial turn in, which is turn 8, and then you kind of have to loop around onto the, I suppose, mini straight, which is turn 9. And then, we'll see there, that is turn 11, that weird kink. Turn 12 is his left-hander into turn 13 and 14, this kind of almost S-like section going under the bridge. 4-star looking very good on the soft combine tyres, potentially looking to take a top 5 spot. Riding that curve very nicely. Having raced with 4-star myself, I know he's clean as daylight, so he's going to be looking for a good performance tonight. And I don't think last race we didn't see any outright incidents, so very well done. And 4-star jumps up under the fifth of the 132.273. Slowed himself quite nicely in between Dat Roland and Marconi, not too close to either of them, just a little bit of a gap each way, and Kieran on the medium combiner tyres. Not to forget that he does have a qualifying 3 ban, so if he makes qualifying 3, he must retire from session immediately and effectively start from 10th position. But he will be looking to start from 10th, obviously you're going to want to qualify as far up as you possibly can. But if not 10th, I'd always say 11th is the best position on the grid, because at least you get those fresh set of tyres and you're as far up as you can be with having that free tyre choice. So going to be an interesting one to see how it plays out. And little Juan now coming out right at the end of the session, looking to potentially steal P1 for qualifying 2. Excuse me if any of you heard that, sorry about that one. But Kieran now just closing off his lap, running a little bit deep into turn 15 there. But still keeping it together quite nicely, and on the run down to turn 17 and 18, the double right-handers. Looking very good through that last corner, keeping it in a nice straight line. And unfortunately only manages 11th with 133.5 on those medium compound tyres. Still past the VFL figure, although VFL figure has now just come out on a fresh set of softs for an outlap. So potentially looking to improve, get into that top 10. And as I mentioned before, it will only be the bottom 3 of this qualifying session that will be eliminated. So at the moment that is currently Kieran, VFL figure and Little Juan, although that is subject to change by the looks of it, with both Faker and Little Juan coming out on those soft compounded tyres. And Kieran potentially going for another lap. But the Little Juan will be first across the line before Faker, I'm pretty sure. Yep. Although we did just see VFL Faker set a purple sector 1, so he is looking very, very fast on those soft compound tyres, looking to potentially top the leaderboard for qualifying 2 tonight. I think might be seeing some surprise performances from some people. I think Russia is a very polarizing track. You either love it or you hate it. I, for one, I'm not the biggest fan of the track. Not necessarily that it's a bad track, I think I'm just bad at it. VFL figure set in a purple sector 2. So looking very good to take the fastest lap right now. As Lil Juan just coming up to turn 17, through turn 17, nice and clean. Turn 18, don't invalidate now, there we go, and on the thing. Jumps himself in the second with a 131.820. Still about 3/10 off Krago. Krago almost untouchable this qualifying session, but will VFL Faker be able to take him down a little bit slow through that last turn, I think, and jumps up into 5th with 132.1, potentially just messing up that sector 3? The game does have a habit of lying about sector times with the colours, so I'm not sure, but Sprunky now coming out a little bit late for Sprunky to come out. I don't think he's going to be able to set a lap, and Kieran has invalidated. That will be him in P12 at the very least. Red Sky on a lap on those soft compound tyres. Fresh Sauce looking to bump himself into the top 10, but JD also on a lap. 132.6 is currently to beat a 132.4 by Draper, but Draper's also on a lap, I think, potentially on the soft compound tyres. I will just have a look now. No, Draper's on the mediums. Draper is on the medium compound tyres, maybe looking to up himself a little bit and just try and stick those medium compound tyres into Q3, so give himself a little bit of an advantage on that. Not even the race start as such, but the first stint of the race. Being on those mediums, I think it's going to be really beneficial, because you're going to be able to make them drag out longer. And Red Sky again, purple sector 1, sector 2, sorry. And now on the rundown to turns 15 and 16. 15 tin quite nicely, 16 just touching that sausage curve very nicely, and we see Kieran getting out of the way. Of course, we know he invalidated, so he's going to be going into the pit lane anyway. Red Sky looking very good through sector 3 here. Will he be able to steal even the top 3 spots? And he does go second with the 131.7, the closest crowd we've seen, exactly 2/10 off. But Little Juan coming into the pits. VFL Fake comes across the line, stays 7th. It's up to CRL Draper and JDC, who is eliminated now. So either Draper or JD. Draper has invalidated. It's not looking too good for Draper. Is JD going to be able to knock Draper out of the top 10 and knock himself into Q2? 31. And he does. He jumps up to 8th, and that is Draper out of qualifying 3. Unfortunately, those medium compound tyres just couldn't quite make. He needed an extra 2/10 on 4-star to be able to pull himself into Q3 there. So not too good for him. And unfortunately, Sprunky, after having such an amazing qualifying 1, couldn't pull it together in qualifying 2. And Kieran will be starting 13th. Unfortunately, couldn't quite manage to play himself through. I think those mediums, just the deficit to the softs is a bit too much to be really competitive. With how close the grid is, I don't think many people could have pulled those mediums through. But look at that, 131.560 for the P1 time here in qualifying 2. 131.5. And here we see, unfortunately, we will be saying goodbye to that guy Draper, Iceros, Brunky, and Kieran at the end of this qualifier session, which leaves Krago, Red Sky, Little Juan, Dat Roland, No Fandangle, Pimis, Faker, JD, McConey, and 4-star going into qualifying 3. And look at that. First to 11th, less than a second. First to last, 1.3 seconds. Absolute masterclass. Look at that. Exactly a tenth separate Little Juan and Dat Roland and No Fandangle also separate by exactly 100th of a second, sorry guys. But look at that, very, very close. Especially from second all the way down to 6th. It is just extremely close. Even 7th, all of it is just so close. Really, really well done to the admin team here at CRL for organising such a close competition. I think not only does it make for interesting racing for the drivers, but also makes for interesting entertainment for the spectators and for comms like myself. So just on to qualifying 3 now. Just a quick check. The race director did anyone get any instance? Just a few invalidated lap times. No 5-place grid penalties, which is always great to see. Can be quite heartbreaking when either someone just been told 8th and 9th. Yep, 8th and 9th. Look at that. JD and McConey, not even a millisecond, a 1,000th of a second between them. That is incredibly close. It is very rare that you see times that close. Once again, it just really goes to show how competitive this grid is and how close the competition really is this season. We saw Little Juan absolutely dominating in Bahrain, but Krago seems to be the one on top here at Russia. So going to be interested to see how this battle plays out, not only in the race, but here in the final qualifying session. And I've just been informed that Alonso is in hospital following an incident. Damn, and I think the lobby is potentially glitched. Not 100% sure. I will keep my eye on Discord just to keep my eye on the Discord just in case there is a lobby restart and I need to leave. And yep, we are a bit stuck right now. I think potentially looking at a lobby restart. Sorry guys, so will be a little bit of downtime, but hopefully we can keep this going. So I think we're just Gavin, Poynton, Warrior Huntsman, and Luke 14 Knock apparently are still stuck loading. So if any of you are watching comms, if you could quickly leave the session, and I will invite you back in for qualifying 3. I don't think any of you are in qualifying 3, so if you could leave the session for us, that would be amazing. Hopefully, guys, at least into the qualifying 3 session, and then we'll invite you back. So we see Warrior Huntsman leaving the session now. And here we go, there's the countdown. I think, yeah, Warrior Huntsman potentially having connection issues. Yeah, we should be moving on to qualifying 3 now. Just keep an eye on the Discord. Sorry about that one, guys. Of course, not exactly the best servers in F1. Hopefully EA can fix them. Hopefully we don't have to pay extra for them. Would be very nice. But on that, actually, if anyone is in the comments, what does everyone think of the EA takeover of Codemasters? What do we think is going to happen to... What do we think is going to happen to Formula 1 and series? And I will invite some people back. I'm not sure who needs an invite back. I think Kieran does, so I'll send Kieran an invite. Not 100% sure who else though. If anyone needs an invite, just let me know in the chat and I'll get on as soon as I can. There you go, Kieran. I'll also send you an extra one just as a backup. Okay, there you go. You should have a backup then. But we do see the Ferrari of Pimis, the first driver out, and what tyres are they on? They're on soft, so this could potentially be a bank lap, so I'm not going to be expecting the fastest laps right at the start, but also it could actually be a proper fast lap. But the 12-minute shootout of qualifying 3 now to determine the last 10 positions, first 10 positions on the grid, so it's going to be interesting to see. And while Pimis is on his outlap, I'm going to take a quick break for a minute and I shall return soon. And we are back as Pimis is about to finish off the last 2 corners of his lap. Unfortunately, validated his out lap, but that doesn't matter too much as he is now on his flying lap and the first run of qualifying 3 at that. It's going to be interesting to see what you can do in this Ferrari. And just looking through the grid, I don't think any team has 2 drivers in the top 10. The top 10 a mix of every team, so it's going to be interesting to see how this is going to play out. And yeah, I've got to agree with you there, Kieran. The Williams is absolutely beautiful. The 2020 Williams is... I remember when they first unveiled their car when they had the Rocket sponsorship at the start of 2020, and I thought, oh yeah, that's quite a nice livery, a bit better than the 2019 one, which personally I like. But when they dropped that Rocket sponsorship and that new livery come out, absolutely blew me away. Just a stunning livery, especially at the Silverstone and the 70th anniversary Grand Prix. When they had the Thank You NHS, it really went in with the the Williams colours, sorry, because they have the dark blue section on the front, almost axle, like the kind of front on the sides of the wing as such, and the white NHS logo looked really good on it. And Pimis sets a 131.7 for the first lap of qualifying 3. Will our next contender, which will be the little one, be able to beat it? Coming down now to turns 15, 16. Taking it rather nicely, just touching that sausage curb, making sure not to spin himself out. And around the final corner, Little Juan with 131.9, not quite able to beat Pimis, but still putting himself up there. Not sure if that's a banker lap or not. And who is next? We see VFL Fig with the 132.5, Red Skies in the pits, and the Red Bull of JD with the 132.9, the slowest at the moment, but like I said, we don't know what's banker laps and what's not right now. 4-star in the Racing Point. Unfortunately, did he just invalidate that lap, I think, unfortunately. So he will be going for another lap now, as No Fandangle not far behind, just about to round off the last corner, low on fuel, looking to take a fast lap and goes third with the 132.1. Very close to the Little Juan time. Little Juan's time? No. No, I cannot do math apparently today. Jack, TNF, Jack did something fail. I failed math apparently. But on board with Cragger now, who has topped the last 2 qualifying sessions, so looking confident to take pole. But Pimis and the Little Juan might be hiding something, almost sandbagging in the previous 2 qualifying sessions. That's one thing with qualifying, you can never actually tell who's on the pace, because some people like to sandbag a little bit, not give away their true pace and blow everyone away then in qualifying 3. But Cragger has set a purple sector 1, so is looking to take pole position for now. A 131.7 is the time to beat to get first right now, and Cragger is absolutely flying through sector 2. Flew through sector 1 and he's keeping this momentum. I think he will be able to take pole position here tonight, but as I've said, not sure who's doing banker laps and who's not, so Pimis and Little Juan, even any of them could pull something out of thin air and just blow the competition away. But Cragger with the purple sector 1 and purple sector 2 definitely looking to take provisional pole position. And we only have roughly about 5.5 minutes remaining in the session now, so very important for drivers to start getting either their banker lap in or getting prepared to set their final qualifying lap. And Cragger does steal provisional pole position by a whopping for almost 0.5% with the 131.2. Will we see a 130 flat? Not 130 flat, but 130. I think it's definitely possible. Obviously the track will evolve as more cars are coming out. There is more rubber being put down on the track, so I think 130 is definitely possible, but just gonna have to wait and see, I guess. Start rolling now. Just coming up to turn 5. Potentially trying to take advantage of the slipstream from Cragger there. Cragger obviously on what I would guess is an in lap now, so he's gonna not be wanting to help out Dat Roland. Dat Roland's one of the is quite a quick driver, so Cragger's gonna be going to be wanting to watch out, but he also doesn't want to get in the way of Roland's lap, but he seems a bit too far up the road for that to happen as of yet. Dat Roland getting on DRS as soon as possible and trying almost seemingly to chase down Cragger as if it was a race, but obviously we know Cragger is probably on an in lap and Dat Roland's on a fast lap, so I'd expect him to actually catch quite quickly, as Rory Huntsman has joined the session again, having a few connection issues, but hopefully it's all sorted. And for anyone that's already been eliminated in qualifying, best of luck for the race. And there we see crowd coming in as Dat Roland is rounding out the final corner. Oh, who was that? I think that was a glitch there. As Dat Roland comes through and takes set with the 131.5. 3 tenths off Cragger's time and 2 tenths in front of Pim's time. A nice little gap either way. We see 4-star and Marconi both on outlaps now. And Jack DNF can't speak. He can't finish the race and he can't speak. What else can't he do? Commentate apparently. But 4-star now. Just on board with him. Just trundling his way around the track. Might want to wait for that timer to come down a little bit. I'm not 100% sure. But he doesn't seem to be too low on fuel, so I'm not sure if he's on a banker or not banker, if he's going to be setting multiple laps on these tyres. So 4-star just about to start his fast lap now. Coming across that final corner, across the start-finish straight to start his final qualifying lap. Potentially, no, he might have a chance at another. He might be going for 2 consecutive laps here. As Dan doesn't want to get in the way. Also, Marconi is not far behind, so Dan doesn't want to get in the way of Marconi either. But I think Marconi did slow down a little bit just to give himself a bit of distance to 4-star, potentially in case of a spin or a maybe just a deficit in speed. I apologise in advance, this commentary is not going to be the greatest, I'm a bit tired, but 4-star setting a purple sector 1, what about Makoni? Makoni not able to match 4-star sector 1 time there. 4-star really picking up the pace here in qualifying 3, potentially looking to take pole away from Krago, but Krago's come out on another out lap, looking to improve his lead. Dat Roland's out on another lap. Or potentially an in lap. He's on 2-lap old softs. But 4-star and Makoni are the ones to watch right now. 4-star, I think 4-star has a purple sector 1, not a purple sector 2. What about Makoni? Not 100% sure about him either. The 4-star now just coming down to the infamous turn 17, 19, 18. Our double right-hander. Doesn't seem too difficult on paper, but especially that turn 18, so easy to run right. 4-star goes 4th with a 131.9. Makoni just coming across the line now. Will he be able to beat 4-star? No, he doesn't. He goes 7th with 132.1. There is still time, and I think both of them are going for 2 consecutive laps. Red Sky on an out lap now, just about to round off the final corner to start his one and only qualifying lap here in Q3. It is a mad dash to the finish now. So, Dat Roland, is he going to be able to improve his time? Just hopping that curb a little bit. They're looking a little bit slower this time around. I'm not sure. Will he be able to take pole position away from Krago? Oh, cutting out quite nicely and does improve, but not enough to catch Krago. Krago still 2/10 up the road, and the Red Bull of JD now unfortunately validating his lap. That is him in 6th or lower, as Little Juan setting a purple sector 2, looking to once again steal pole position away from Krago. Krago really is the man to beat right now. 131.2 is provisional pole for now, but Krago himself is also on another lap, so looking at like I said, potentially a 130, as VFL Faker beats out JD with a 131.9 and jumps up into 6th. And now when you cross the line you finish, as Little Juan takes pole with a 131 flat. Very, very close to those 130s, like I said. Very well done from Little Juan. Dominated race 1 and is doing very well here in race 2. 4-star finishes up in 6th, sorry, as Makoni just beats him to 5th. No Fandango jumps up to 5th, knocks down Makoni to 6th, and 4-star to 7th. And now it is the Krago goes into the pits. He is stuck in 2nd place. PMS coming across the line and stays 4th. Red Sky jumping up to 5th with 131.5, and it is up to Dat Roland, Faker and JD to determine the final positions now. And Dat Roland is not using DRS, so I think that is him in P3 for now. Faker has invalidated and so is JD. So lads, if you are watching, I'm pretty sure it is safe to retire on track right now. Just get it all sped up. But that confirms the Little Juan takes pole position with a 131 flat, 2/10 and 1/1000th of a second in front of Krago, who takes position 2 on the starting grid, followed by Dat Roland P3, Pimis P4, Red Sky P5, followed by No Fandangle, Makoni, 4-star, VFL Faker, and JD bringing up the rear of qualifying 3 in 10th position. Of course, I think each of these drivers will be starting on the softs for the start of the race. So after this timer runs down now and everyone retires, then we will be having a 50% length race, which should last us roughly 45 minutes to, I'll say, half an hour to 45 minutes, depending on the weather. But by the looks of it, I think it might be a dry race. If anyone in the chat can tell me the weather for the race, that'd be very much appreciated. But just watching JD's car go right now. And there we go. Qualifying 3 is officially complete and JD brings up 10th. And thank you, Kieran. It has just confirmed it will be a dry race. But look at that, even in qualifying 3, a second separate P1 and P10 very, very close. Look how close Pimis and Red Sky are. They're in 5th and 6th, and Nofan Dangle Marconi very, very close. Very close times. I've said it all evening, but it's just stupidly competitive here. Very, very well done. But this is an example of what I think F1 should be. The cars should be equal, and everyone. Imagine if the drivers were this close. I really do think Russell would have won a race by now. So let's get this going. And just a quick check of the Discord, just checking that there's nothing that I need to do or anything. Everything seems to be in place. We're just waiting for the drivers to confirm their setups and ready up on the grid now. And there will be a formation lap as far as I'm aware. So on that formation lap, I will take a quick break, and I think a moment of silence is in order for Fernando Alonso, who has unfortunately been admitted to hospital. I'm not 100% sure why, but being admitted to hospital is never a nice feeling. I know that one myself, but I'm sure a lot of others can relate, but our hearts go out to him and his family. Hopefully, whatever the issue is, it can be resolved soon, and he can continue with his racing in the 2021 season. But as before mentioned, we will just wait. And all the cars are on the grid now, just setting their formation lap, and I will be back towards the end of the formation lap. And I am back just in time to see the cars go into Sector 3, and I think now is an important time to actually check the tyres. We see everyone in that top 10, apart from Draper, start on the soft compounded tyres. I'm not sure what is going on with the good. Why is JD down in 13th? He qualified 10th. I'm not sure if this is a glitch, if he's actually started in 10th. And Warrior Huntsman has left the session once again. And Killer J unfortunately starting right at the back, even though he did get into qualifying too. So Codemaster's making him again, and there's a lot of ghosted cars. I'm not sure what's going on. Is there a lobby reset? I don't think so. There we go. But here we are, in case I haven't said it before. Here at the Russian Grand Prix CRL Tier 3 Round 2. And we are ready to start. Good luck to all the drivers. And usually I'd say good luck to comms, but I am the comms today, so it'd be a bit weird if I said that to myself. But just waiting for the lights now. And are the lights gonna... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 lights. Lights out and away we go here at the Tier 3 Russian Grand Prix. Little Horn getting an amazing start. Krago also getting an amazing start. Looking back down the grid, a few position changes, a bit swapping and changing there. Oh, a few cars going a little bit wide there in the background. And we see Both of the Red Bulls tangled up, and both of the Red Bulls have collided. Singapore 2017, Kieran and JD are already out of the race, and that is a virtual safety car. And we're seeing 5-second penalties left, right, and centre. What is going on here? Singapore 2017, sorry, that was with Ferraris. I got that one messed up there, but both of the Red Bulls colliding and both DNFing. I'm not 100% sure what happened there, but it surely wasn't nice, and that is a virtual safety car. So now that I have a chance, but look how many penalties that sparked. 5 seconds, almost 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 drives with 5-second penalties and 3 with 10 seconds. I'm not quite sure what happened there, but we are back to racing already. And here we go. So the close gap. I saw Sprunky, McConey and Red Sky in a bit of a three-way battle there. I saw Sprunky unfortunately just coming out of the worst of it, and I meant no fandangle, not what's going on? Yeah, I just really not doing it. And Sprunky going to take it back on McConey, running very deep into that corner, and McConey's going to be able to get back past. Sprunky drops back down into 9th, and McConey on the push for no fandangle now. But back up front, Little Juan already with a 1.7 second gap. And there's a little bit of touch between McConey and Dan there. Dan taking the inside line, McConey getting a much better run on that right, so he's forced to take the outside. And no fandangle going into the pits on lap 1. Little Juan with the 144.7 fastest lap, and of course. You see a good old glitch from our friends, Codemasters. And Little Juan, I know, is up front. And why are there a few... Why is everyone appearing ghosted? Sprunky chasing down McConey for P2. No? What? Here we go. I think the top view is sorted. No. My apologies, guys. There's nothing I can really do. But right now we'll just follow our Jacko and Luke 14 knock. I at least know that's about this going on. I can see it quite clearly with my own eyes. But Red Sky and that guy Drake's leading. No, that's not right. They're at the back. I think, yeah, everyone should be in the correct position now, apart from the 2 Williams who are at the back. JD has left the session. One of the Red Bulls involved in that huge accident. All I saw was one of the Red Bulls flying through the air. I'm not quite sure what happened there. I'm sure we'll see it in incident reports. And I didn't expect that on lap 1. And to be quite honest, I'm surprised it wasn't a full safety car. But our Jacko and Luke 14 knocked side by side, going to the chicane. And our Jacko, what a move, what a switchback. Very, very nice. Space left by both drivers there, and nice and clean. Our Jacko obviously having that, the Socorro tyres will have the slight grip advantage, and Little Juan getting fast session. And Warrior Huntsman seems to be dipping in and out of the race, once again potentially having connection issues. But looking back down, Red Sky on no fandangle. No, that's changing. Tomo tipped up on Luke 14 knock. Luke 14 knock losing a few positions. Tomo using that overtake, pulling out 7th gear as much as can, using that DRS. Luke 14 knock doesn't have the DRS, and Tomo tipped up using up all of that ERS to get past. I think you can take the ERS off now, mate. I'm not sure why he's keeping it on, but it takes a very wide line and has to almost cut that there. But looking back at McConey and Deluxe going side by side, there's a bit of contact, and unfortunately Deluxe has span caught in the rear tyre of McConey, and that is severe wing damage, unfortunately. And Deluxe drops all the way down to 12th. I think, from what I can see, there seemed to be a bit of a racing incident. I'm not 100% sure. And looking down, Killer J making a move on Luke 40 knock. Luke 40 knock losing a lot of position on medium combined tyres. Those mediums really don't seem to be doing him very well. Killer J on the charge now from the back, already up to P10, up 10 positions, doing very well for himself, potentially looking at in-game driver of the day. And if he finishes well enough, oh, Pimis, I think there was a brush with the wall, keeps his end plate and sneaks ahead of Krago. But Little Juan, 4-second gap by lap 3 already. What a dominant performance. Amazing racing for a second race in CRL. If he wins back-to-back, this will be incredible. And Warrior Huntsman, I think, is not driving his car right now. So 4-star, just changed down McConey, going to slowly be bringing that gap in, hoping to make advantage of that DRS. Isoros Sprunky getting a 3-second time penalty for corner cutting. And I think we're going to see a 4-way battle between Pimis, Krago, Dat Roden and VFL Faker. But this is quite the contrary to real Formula 1 here at Russia. From what I can remember, there's not really been too many interesting races here in the Sochi Autodrome. But this is another infamous track by, you know, the man, the myth, the legend himself, Herman Tilke, giving you wonders like Vietnam, Russia, China, and Abu Dhabi. You know, some of the most boring tracks in Formula 1. And there is a bit of movement down with Deluxey and Gampoint both pitting. Gampoint going on to the soft, and Deluxey going on to the hard, potentially looking to take those to the end now. But this four-way battle seems to be rather enticing is not the word there, but seems to be evolving into what might be a multi-stint battle. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a lot of the pits, a lot of these four people's pit stops. Oh, unfortunately, VFL Faker, I think, just catching Dat Rowland's rear end there. Not just sure, but that was VFL Faker almost certainly out of the battle. This now it's just a three-way battle. But Krago and Pimis seem to be getting very close, a little bit squirrely there. Just going a little bit too much on the outside of the curve, I think. But Krago keeping it nice and straight. But they want to be careful not to wear down these softs too much. You want to really drag those softs out as much as possible. I think potentially looking at a two-stop. I'm not 100% sure on the strategy here. But lap 5 of 27 already, about a sixth of the way through it. And we've already seen a double DNF on lap 1. Fortunately, no true safety car. We did see a virtual safety car, but that isn't bad. And Tom with Tip Top going into the pits now. There's Dat Rowland and Krago side by side. Dat Rowland using that overtake. Just looks like both of them don't have much to use. I think Krago's just going to stay ahead. Dat Rowland has to back out and stay behind. But Little Juan just absolutely running away with it. 5.5 seconds by lap 5. This is insane. Absolute insane pace from the Renault there. It's almost as if the Renault that he's in is just they pulled the racing point, just stole the Mercedes car. But Dat Rowland slowly seems to be closing in on Krago, and then backs off a little bit, and then closes and backs off. But to kind of take away from that, I suppose, Marconi is catching up with VFL Faker. We did see Faker get what seemed to be quite bad on quite bad wing damage, but Marconi not quite able to catch up. And I think Pimis, Dat Rowland and Krago all just going to be DRS training each other on. But looking down, Tomo tipped up on ISR Sprunky, both of them on the mediums, Tomo on 1 lap fresher, Jack again a 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. But, pay a bit more attention to penalties towards the end of the race. Obviously some of them can be served, so I think that's when it's really going to make the difference. But you can really see Russia doing its thing now, spreading everyone apart, and there's not too many battles going on. It just seems to be a bit more of a DRS train. But Tomo still want to take Sprunky. Bit late on that DRS, not using the overtake. Sprunky has a lot more to use than him anyway. And they're dragging out 7th quite a while there, but Marconi almost caught VFL Faker now. And Dat Rowland and Krago. Pimis just dragging Krago out of that DRS now, and I think this is Dat Rowland's chance to really strike. Just switch it up to Rich. Get as close as you can. Get that DRS, because Krago no longer has the DRS from Pimis now, so that's quite important for him. And I think Marconi's just going to want to try and get past VFL Faker as fast as possible. He really doesn't want to be held up more than he needs to be, because as long as Krago, Pimis and Dat Rowland are all battling, it's going to allow Marconi a chance to catch up and potentially even get involved in the battle, sneak his way through. Well, looking back down, Tom with Tip Top, is he going to be making another move on Sprunky? I don't think so. Sprunky seems to have gone away, and Marconi has got past VFL Faker, and seemed to clean enough overtake from what I've seen. Oh, but this yellow flag in Sector 2. What's going on? And Krago overtook Dat Rowland. I think Dat Rowland did initially get him, I'm not sure. But look how close this is. That DRS is really going to play into Dat Rowland's favour now. Krago is way far off, and 4-star on VFL Faker too, but I will jump up with Dat Rowland. Will he be able to catch Krago by turn 2? Just switching on that overtake, trying to get the both drivers using overtake. And I'm not sure if he's close enough. He might go for a bit of a dive. Is Krago going to go defensive, or is he going to just stick to the racing line? And Dat Rowland just wasn't close enough to go for the move. 4-star closing down on Marconi now. And VFL Fake going into the pits onto those hards, potentially looking to take them to the end. 20 laps on the hards, I'm not sure if it's doable, but nothing can stop you from trying, I suppose. I think very much doable, I think. Just might be a little bit dead towards the end, I'm not 100% sure. I'm not the biggest strategist myself. I kind of go with what happens, and potentially that's what is wrong with me, but wrong with my racing, but I think just the fact that I DNF and Red Sky gets past VFL Fake. It seemed to gain a lot of time very quickly there, but Dat Roland's still on the back. Krago burning up all of that overtake. Krago doing somewhat well to save it. As I say that, using it just to get away from Dat Roland a little bit. Is Krago going to try and defend in this corner? They're going to go side by side, and Dat Roland backs out a little bit slow going into the corner, I think, but as long as he can get speed on the exit, that's the golden rule of F1. Slow in, fast out, and losing the rear a little bit there. A little bit too heavy on throttle, and VFL Figure just trying to stick on the back of Red Sky, but don't think it's going to happen from what I can see. Looking down, 17th to 16th, can't really ignore that. Still at the back of Grid, still a battle. Jacko and Draper. Draper not having the best of races today. Started quite high up from what I can remember. I think, what was it, 11th? No, Draper started 10th and now is all the way back down to 16th. So not having the greatest race. Faker on the back of Red Sky now has the DRS. He's not going to be able to go for a move into that corner. Just didn't have the speed. But now looking at a move on the start finish straight, kind of not ready. But this is the closest battle right now, the AlphaTauri and the Williams. So I think we might potentially see a move from Faker on this straight, but Red Sky seems to be pulling away just a little bit now. Using our overtake before the DRS zone, and I don't think Faker's close enough to go for the move. Red Sky also using the overtake, just going to keep him away. He's lining up the move where he has to back out. There was no way he was going to make that. If he had made that dive bomb and kept it clean, that would have been a Daniel Ricciardo level move. But that roller now backing off from Krago a little bit. I'm not sure if he has wing damage. Krago certainly doesn't, I don't think. Saying that, Darren has made up a lot of time in a short space. Well, let's see Krago's wing. No, Krago has a full wing, and so does Dat Roland. So both looking good. And speed of Dat Roland, he has just spun at turn 16. And that is him dropping out. That is Krago having the pressure eased off him a little bit there. Maybe the pressure that Dat Roland was putting onto Krago ended up putting onto himself in a way. But Faker going to be able to get past Red Sky this time using the DRS, using the overtake, and gets past quite nicely going into turn 13 and 14. Running a little bit deep. Is Red Sky going to be able to make a move back? Don't think so. Don't go for the info move. Good stuffs. Keeping it nice and clean, all drivers. And looking back up. 4-star Marconi once again in another battle. Racing Point and the Mercedes. I mean, what's the difference? One's just the pink version of the other one, right? But hopefully we see a nice battle evolve. But now we see a three-way battle. Iceross, Funky, Red Sky and VFL Faker. Faker not having the best race, having that wing damage early on and then almost being forced to pit, going onto those hards. And Red Sky does go side by side with Faker, and Faker is forced to go wide. Red Sky gives up the position, and unfortunately I think it's going to give up position to Sprunky as well. Faker just getting in the way a little bit there. Sprunky not able to make the double overtake, but still he'll be out with one position nonetheless, I think. And is he going to be able to make a move on Faker? He is on the softer compounded tyres, so he should have a little bit more grip for now. But looking back up with 4-star and Marconi, these softs surely they've got to be dying off sometime soon. I'm not sure how much longer they can keep them going. I'm not quite sure actually what the oh, Marconi dives into the pits on lap 9, sorry. And that is Marconi in the pits. So 4-star's going to have a bit of breathing room now just to kind of potentially switch up to Rich, get on their overtake, set a fast as all hell lap, and try and gain as much time on Marconi as he can. But Sprunky now very close to Faker. I think potentially looking for a move in the DRS zone. There is a little bit of a trend behind them now. Red Sky less than a second behind, and Tomo Tip Top catching up at a steady pace. But Tomo's got to watch out for Gavin Poynton behind, because he will also have the DRS. A lot of interesting battles going on here. Like I said, quite opposite to what actually happens in Russia in real life. Quite a boring track in real life as far as I was aware. But I think as well as Formula 1, Russia are quite infamous with Mazepin squeezing quite a few drivers into the wall. I think it was up here on this right hand, I think almost squeezing, I want to say Sonoda into a wall, but I'm not 100% sure, so gonna leave it at that one. Honestly, myself, I'm not the biggest fan of Mazepin. After seeing almost an insight into what he's like as a person, just doesn't seem like someone I really want to support on the F1 grid. But everyone's entitled to their own opinion, and it is what it is. I am interested to actually see what Haas will do with two new young drivers in Formula 1 though. Obviously, previously Grosjean had quite a lot of experience, and Magnussen he wasn't a bad driver as such. He wasn't top tier, but I think he was a good midfield driver, and I think the car this season really let them down. So, unfortunately, but VFL figures having trouble getting past Warrior Huntsman's AI here, and Little Juan goes into the pits. Onto the medium combat and comes out 3 seconds behind 4-star. Little Juan, such a dominant performance today. Proving himself really to be one of the fan favourites of season, tier 3, sorry, this season. And Sprunky still chasing down Faker and Dan. I'm not sure if Warrior Huntsman is like actually driving his car or not. And I'm just gonna check. No, apparently Warrior Huntsman has given up. So his car is going around, but should not get points if I'm correct. And Red Sky now still chasing down with Sprunky, but Sprunky seems to be running away with it a little bit now. Sprunky's still chasing down Faker, who's also chasing down Dan. Is Faker going to be able to get past Dan anytime soon? I think we don't really seem to see overtakes in the DRS zones here, unfortunately, but got the top hole split now. Little Juan just waiting for 4-star and Killer J to pit to take the lead back. Gavin Poynton trying to get past Warrior Huntsman's AI as well. As we see the 3-way battle between Sprunky. Ooh! Sprunky getting a bit squirrely, and we see a big crash. Sprunky into the wall there at turn 5, and that has caused a full course yellow. Don't think quite a safety car, but that allows Little Juan, well, 4-star and Killer J both into the pits, and Little Juan has taken the lead of the race back, and already quite far ahead. Luke 14 not coming in on 10 laps of those medium tyres, pitted right at the start I think, but Warrior Huntsman, that's an AI. Tom and Tiptoe waiting for Cam Point. Obviously we can't overtake, so I think a lot of drivers now just heading. Oh, it's a safety car. My bad, I didn't realise it's a actual safety car now. So Little Juan will lead the safety car, followed by 4-star Pime, Stat Roland, Killer J, McConey, Crago, Faker, Luke 14 knock. Okay, I'm not going to go through the rest because everyone's in the pits. But I think this is going to give us a good time. Look at those penalties. Gavin Point with 17 seconds, Tomo with 14, Darren with 12, and then Draper, Jacko with 3 apiece, and Deluxy with 8. But position changes. Our biggest winner since the start of the race has got to be Killer J, up an amazing 15 places. Really shows as much as the qualifying glitch really didn't do him very well. Look at that, 15 places up. Absolute amazing racing from J tonight. But we do see DQ start to form behind the safety car. Excuse me while I just sort some stuff out. But it's safety car time, so I suppose it is back to fun facts. So the Sochi Autodrome, also known as the Russian Grand Prix, was built for the cities Hold on, let me read this out. Designed by Herman Tilke, the Sochi Autodrome is effectively a street circuit, evolving out of the internal roads of the park built for the city's 2014 Winter Olympics. So the Sochi Autodrome is a very, I suppose, modern track as such. Obviously, Russia deserves quite a bit of representation. Obviously, we've seen Daniel Kvyat and Nikita Mazepin, both Russian F1 drivers. Well, Kvyat, a former F1 driver right now. I'm not sure if he's going to make a return or not with AlphaTauri or potentially Red Bull, or maybe even a different team in later seasons. But yeah. And then the first Grand Prix was held here on October the 12th, 2014, and no surprise, was won by Lewis Hamilton, who was midway through a 5-race winning streak that will ultimately see him clinch the 2014 Drivers' title. And yeah, like we said before, turn 3, as we see the cars going across now, that just constant radius, 750 meters of flat out left-hander, pretty much. I know a lot of drivers lift off a little bit, but I think you can actually take that full flat with the right setup and with like soft tires and stuff. I'm not 100% sure, but just waiting for the cars now behind the safety car. There's not really too much to say with the safety car. What do you say? The cars are very beautiful on this Thursday evening. But in all honesty, we'll actually get some stuff up for real life Formula 1. As I mentioned earlier, a lot of the livery reveals will be happening soon. So we have the MCL 35M, which is McLaren's 2021 spec car, will be revealed on the 15th of February, the day after Valentine's Day. So if any of you are feeling a bit lonely on Valentine's Day, just remember their car launch is the next day, so you're not lonely. And then, I'm not 100% sure about the rest of them, but I will try and find out. I know Mercedes have unveiled this. I think they're doing this on the 2nd of March. So let's have a look. Is this going to tell me? Actually, I am quite interested to see how McLaren, not only the livery does next season, I'm also interested to see how the car does, because obviously with the other teams it seems to be just they're complying to the new regulations with last year's car. And ooh, a bit of a messed safety car restart there in terms of that run and Killer J. Not sure what happened there, but Killer J seems to be getting the run on his teammate. I think his teammate let him pass, but unfortunately he's also going to let McConey pass. And is he also going to let Crago pass? No, he is blocking Crago very well, but Crago also does actually slip past on the inside, and that one's going to take the outside, forced wide by McConey's line. But that is Darren down to 6th, Killer J up to 4th, looking to chase down Pimis now. Sorry about that, I didn't realise the safety car was ending that soon. No Fandango losing out to Red Sky, and now that all the cars are close together, we should see a few more battles on track. About halfway through the race now. But looking down, there's just too many cars. Can't collect it. And who's that? Luke 14 knock. What has happened? He seems to have had a spin. Oh, as you see, Draper go into the back of Jacko, and then Deluxe go into the back of Draper. I don't see any damage on Deluxe here. I think Draper's just missing an plate. That's really not going to help him out at all. Looking back, oh, Tomo Tip Top going a little bit wide there. Come on now, lads, settle down. As Dat Roland gets back past McConey. He seems to have a lot more pace going into turn 13 and 14 there. But now the two Alfa Romeos in 4th and 5th doing very, very well. Alfa Romeo in the controls. And already the little Juan, 2 seconds ahead of Forster. What is going on? This man is absolutely dominant in CRL Tier 3 Season 4. And now it is just a DRS train as Jacko and Gavin Point are going side by side into the penultimate corner. Jacko comes out on top of his Gavin Point and going to be able to get him back in on this next straight. I don't think so. Not without the aid of DRS. and it is just one big train right now, with a bit of a gap between Tom and Tip Top and Krago, and then the top three have just split off from each other. Little Juan, once again, just dominating. Oh, Deluxe going for a bit, looking to line up a bit of a weird move. There's Gavin Point takes a bit of a compromising line. Draper doing well to kind of just stick out a bit, wait for a bit of drama to go on, and Deluxe sneaking on the inside of Draper. Oh, Draper just making a little bit of contact there, a little bit of wheel banging, nothing too bad. But Red Sky on BFL Faker, will there be any moves? Need to remember, guys, we still do have about half the race left, so don't be going for stupid moves. Save that one for the very last lap if you have to. But looking back, Draper trying so hard to get past Deluxe, he just doesn't seem to be able to do it right now. Yeah, Red Sky and Faker still going at it. Before the safety car they were going at it, and they're going at it once again. Faker seemed to pull away, and then Red Sky seems to kind of close in, then Faker will pull away again. It's just a big game of cat and mouse, really. But Gavin Point on Jacko, and Gavin Point taking a very wide line there. But I think there's not too many places I think you can really overtake in Sochi. Until DRS, which has just been enabled, you're kind of just waiting for the DRS. Killer J on Pimis. Killer J using that overtake. He's going to have the DRS as well, so he should get past Pimis. Also using that overtake. J has more to burn, and if I was J, I would ease off it now. He's got the DRS on him. There we go. Good man. And Pimis blocking rather, not blocking, but defending very well there on that Roland. And that is Killer J up into a podium position. Go on, lads. Absolutely no bias towards anyone, but I really do want to see Killer J do well. He's shown he has pace, and he just had horrible luck recently, and he had a bit of bad luck, but he's also now had a bit of uplifting luck from what I've heard, having a bit of good news, so hopefully that can help boost morale and pull him through to potentially even a race win. I really do think he has the pace for a race win, definitely a podium. If he just keeps his cool now, I think he's definitely going to get a podium tonight. But no Fandangle really taking advantage of Faker's mistake there. But that's it now. It is just a DRS change, and that Roland on Pimis seemed to get close for a second and then just couldn't finish the move. Because there's so many drives so close together, everyone has DRS, so I don't think anyone's going to be able to do it, and Darren just has to back out there. Very well done by him. He could have gone for it, could have risked it, but kept it nicely, and going side by side in the penultimate corner. Space is left by both. Pimis does very well to back out of that, and that is Dat Roland ahead. Now just chasing down his teammate, but Pimis will have the DRS. He's burning off that overtake. He gets on the DRS. Dat Roland also using the overtake is Pimis. Pimis should be able to get past. Side by side going into turn 2 potentially. And Dat Roland backs out. Oh, a bit of a punt up the backside by Krago for Dat Roland, but don't think it did anything. I don't think it damaged Krago's wing either. Makoni also chasing down, and Arjako having a bit of trade position, and Deluxey and Draper also trading positions. Looking back up, Krago still chasing down Dat Roland, and Dat Roland and Pimis having a nice bit of a battle, and it's allowing Krago to catch up as Killer J is just pulling away now. But about 2.5 second gaps between everyone. Little Juan on 4-star, and then 4-star on Killer J. Killer J on Pimis 1.9, but that gap's slowly expanding. Not really quite sure who to follow. This three-way battle is going quite nicely between Krago, Dat Roland and Pimis. And I think Tomo Tip Top potentially has had a spin. I see him losing quite a few positions there. Dat Roland and Pimis having a bit of a argy-bargy there. Side by side, is Dat Roland going to be able to make a move? Oh, on the outside! But they're going to go side by side again. Dat Roland, the outside turns to the inside. There's a little bit of contact, but I don't think it was anything too serious. And I think Dat Roland has the position, but going into the penultimate corner, trying to go side by side again. Krago's also trying to sneak past, and that is Dat Roland getting that position, but Krago is going to stay on the back end of Pimis. Has a lot more overtake than both of them, and potentially looking at a double overtake here. I think he's definitely going to get Pimis. Okay, so he gets Pimis. Is he going to be able to get Dat Roland? Dat Roland's going to the left, and they're 3 wide. And Pimis has the inside line, and Krago, what a move with that double overtake. Very, very well done from Krygo there. But that Roland looking to take that position back from Pimis, and he gets it done. That three-way battle really spicing up for a second there, and Krygo comes out ahead, followed by Dat Roland, Pimis. And it's also caused Makoni to catch up, followed by Red Sky, and it's just a train all the way down now from 4th down to 11th. So it's just one big train, and then it kind of splits off on there. But Deluxe and Gavin Boynton, both of them seem to be taking some, let's say, detours of the racing. Oh, Deluxe doing very well to catch it there. No Fandangle still on the back of VFL Faker. But now everyone's going to have the DRS. The big loser out of all this, I think, is Krygo. He's not pulling enough of a gap to really counteract that DRS. And that Roland and Krygo very, very close. I think it's going to be interesting to watch this with 9 laps remaining of the Grand Prix. Looking back, Red Sky on Makoni. And Pimis, just the biggest loser of that battle, really. He's lost 2 positions. Now he's got Makoni and Red Sky on his back, and I think he seems to be holding them up. Which, for Dat Roland and Krygo, is great. Because it means they can have a battle. They have a little bit of breathing room to go. But Little Juan and 4-star just running away now. That's what he's doing. Krygo, what an exit out of there. And VFL Faker losing a few positions. Makoni losing a few positions. And Draper moving up now. He's going to have DRS, and look at this. 3 cars all having a bit of a scuffle. This is going to allow Draper back up. Oh, Ray Sky and Jacko very, very close to it. And Draper's going to sneak up the inside. Very, very, oh, bit of a dive bomb there. And there is a bit of contact between Draper and Faker. A bit of a dive bomb, and Faker's forcing Draper a little bit wide there. Very, very hard racing from these lot. Is Jacko going to be able to sneak back up the inside? He is going to try. Goes around the outside, and unfortunately he's forced a little bit wide. Don't hit that wall, don't hit that wall. Woo! Almost saw yet another DNF. Makoni catch up, and I can't catch a breath here. Very, very hard racing from all of them. There's too many position swaps to actually say them out loud, so I think we're just going to have to stay on board with the camera, and you can see them for yourselves. There's just this giant train of cars so close together. This is insane to watch. Trying to keep an eye on the timing and the action as it goes on, but I think this is the time now where I think if someone's going to make a mistake, it's really going to impact a lot of people. All it takes is one spin, and so many people can get caught up now. VFL Faker, Red Sky. Oh, and I think that's a bit of front end play. Oh, Jacko seemed to make contact with the wall there. Gavin Point again, another 50% time penalty. Draper, is he going to be, oh, he's going to go for the move on VFL Faker. No, he does back out last second. He's going to be looking to make a move in the DRS like he did last lap, where he just absolutely flew through him with the DRS. But Draper might have to pit sometime soon. Gavin Point now, the one with the biggest run up. He's going to have the DRS on everyone. And our Jacko, for some reason, in AI, out of AI now, I'm not sure what was going on there. But we will watch Deluxe and our Jacko fight it out from Gavin Poynton's perspective, and we see a few little battles going on. Can Gavin Poynton make a move? No, he backs out, making sure not to make any contact, taking it nice and slow, and that is our Jacko off the track. Red Sky now on Faker and his teammate Draper. Ooh, looking to sneak move up the inside. Wasn't much room, but I don't think there's much Faker could do there. Makoni as well. Everyone just so close. This is the exact opposite of what Russia was in real life. It's actually amazing to see some proper racing, and Gavin Point going very, very wide there. I'm not sure if that would have given him a warning or not. And now we see the kind of grid starting to split up again, unfortunately. And what's going on here? And sorry about this, guys, just sort of my bad. Should be paying more attention to the stream. That's on me. But Gavin Poynton on our Jacko now. Coming down to the penultimate corner of turn 17, and still just no one's close enough to make a move. Possibly Red Sky and Faker, but there's no one holding each other up anymore. I think it is just one big DRS train once again. And we see the top few all split. Killer J is making up some ground on 4-star now. 4-star seemingly making quite a few mistakes. It's just allowing little Juan in that Renault just run away as he has all race. Absolutely amazing performance from him. Absolutely amazing performance from everyone. Unfortunately, we did see a double DNF right at the start of lap 1, and Sprunky also had his unfortunate accident with the wall. But apart from that, pretty clean racing from what we've seen. Amazing racing, and we are in the closing stages of the Grand Prix now with only 6 laps remaining. Deluxey still chasing down McConaughey. Oh, a bit wide there. And the brakes seem to just not be working on all cars. Potentially down to wing damage, but I don't think many drivers have wing damage. But McConaughey is looking good. He has no penalties, and look how close all the cars are ahead. He's going to jump a lot of places due to penalties. As we see Faker moving past Draper, going around the outside with Draper's brakes later, and what a move to get that position back. Late braking, Daniel Ricciardo would be proud. But it is now just sitting back and watching the cars do their thing, waiting for either someone to make a mistake or someone to just make a ballsy move. But looking at the weather, it seems to be dark. I'm not sure if there'll be like maybe spots of rain right at the end here. Oh! And Deluxey! Big crash on the last turn. And that is Deluxey out of the race. Sector 1 yellow flag. And that is a safety car on lap 22. And this might actually be a call for a lot of drivers to pit onto the soft now. Little Juan might want to go for a risky strategy and go softs for those last 5 laps. Gavin Poynton going into the pits, and I think this is good for Draper. Being on 9 lap softs, they're going to start to wear out, so I think he's going to be able to put on some fresh softs now and just kind of get this race on with almost. But a Killer J and 4-star, very close there. 22 safety cars, and we're on. This is the second safety car, and we're on lap 22. So I wouldn't actually say that's that bad, to be honest, lads. And look at that, both safety cars were not by a fault of anyone, but just a mistake leading to ending in a wall. But that's not looking too good for the racing points in the Renaults. Well, obviously the one Renault we have up front once again, but a Racing Point not having the best of races right now. Actually saying that, no, Racing Point 4 stars up there. Completely ignore what I'm saying, lads. I'm not there tonight. Apologies for that one. But once again, it's a safety car. There's not too much to say. But looking at the official F1 website, if you were to go, oh, and we do see a bit of rain, as I said. And Faker also going for a very late pit stop there. I'm curious to see if we're gonna see anyone try out those inters. Oh, and we do! Because there is a Mercedes. The Mercedes and McConaughey going in for the intermediate tyres. Is anyone else gonna risk the intermediates? Jacko in the AlphaTauri, sorry, going for the intermediates. We see 2 drivers on the intermediates. I think bit of an early call. Alright, yeah, it is still on the safety car, but is it going to rain enough? I think this is either a make it or break it strategy now. They've either just pulled off an absolute masterclass or they've completely screwed themselves over. But it is safety car conditions. We will actually see, is his rear end going to step out a lot? McConaughey taking it a little bit slow looking at it. I actually think these intermediates might have paid off. Looking at that, because it's going to rain for the next 3 laps under safety car. Potentially McConaughey and Gavin Poynton and even Jacko have just pulled off an absolute banger of a strategy. What is going on? Wait, Gavin Poynton coming back into the pits? I'm not sure. Oh, Gavin's just gone on to the inters. What's going on here? I'm not sure quite what's going on. But luckily it's under safeguard, so they will have the chance to catch up. I'm not 100% sure what's going on here. But I expect to see safety car out, maybe another lap. It is near the end of the race, so I don't think it's going to stay out too long, but these intermediate runners have really caught my attention. And Gavin Poynton unfortunately disqualified from the session for receiving multiple penalties. Oh, he had a drive-through apparently. I'm not sure. But that knocks us down to 15 drivers remaining in this race. And who is that going into the pits? Red Sky going into the pits. Potentially to put on intermediate tyres? It's a bit of a late stop under safety car. Yep, those are the no, those are the full wet tyres, I think. No, they were the intermediate. Sorry, it's just the Williams pit crew. Got them and the tyres a bit mixed up. I'll be a bit concerned if you put one of your pit crew on your car. But that is now 3 drivers on the intermediates. So is this really going to pay off? I'm curious to see what actually happens when we get the green flags. Is it going to be a case of it's too dry and Marconi, Jacko and Riska just silly slow? But also, little Juan's going to really want to be careful now because he wants to, I think right now you'd be wanting to give the safety car just a little bit of space just in case it does come in this lap, which I think it might. I think it's either going to be in this lap or the next one. But it's been out for 2 laps and it is very close to the end of the Grand Prix. We would only have 3 laps of racing left if it went in now. Oh, but we do see a few drivers are starting to lose their rear ends. So I think those intermediates might have actually been the right call. As Draper somehow losing position. Moria Huntsman's AI just absolutely going for it. Obviously, I don't think the AI will get points. But we should see shortly if the safety car is going to go in. And little Juan getting very close there. Is the safety car going to go in? And we see a few... Oh, what's going on here? What is going on? I'm not 100% sure. I expect we'll see in the incident report room later on, but I'm not sure what's going on. Potentially a spin because of the dry tyres and the wet conditions. But is anyone else going to pit? I think No Fandango's looking at a pit, and I think all the drivers now that we're on the dry tyres are looking at pitting. And I think Marconi and Red Sky and our Jacko have just gone for an absolute banger of a strategy and potentially have just won themselves this race. Absolute masterclass of a strategy, that. That is insane. There's only going to be 2 laps of racing left. That little bit of wear on the tyres really isn't going to make a difference. Crago's going to be on the mediums. So as long as Crago doesn't hold up Marconi, I think Marconi might be able to win this. But taking a look at penalties, he does have a 5-second penalty, so it is going to be very close. Well, this is a rather interesting end to what's been a rather interesting Grand Prix. In general, we're going to completely ignore my voice crack there. You heard nothing. But VFL Faker and Crago very ballsy staying out on those softs. It does look very wet now. And Marconi, I'm not sure if he likes the wet or not, but it's certainly played in his favour right now. Come on, Marconi. So the safety car should be coming in this lap. But we are only in Sector 2. For some reason I always think Sector 2 is Sector 3 here, so that's my bad, guys. My apologies. But lap 25-27, we'll have 2 laps racing after the safety car goes in. And you can already see Marconi is giving Crago more than enough space to slow down. And yep, race control confirms the safety car is in this lap. And the final 2 laps of the race will be under wet conditions with Faker and Crago on the softs and mediums respectively. Crago in the lead of the race, but I think Marconi will take it. What Marconi really wants is Crago to let him pass and Faker to hold up Jacko and those behind. Little Juan probably not very happy with this wet, as he was absolutely dominating the race, and Crago very, very slowly. I'm not sure if that's due to the dry tyres. He wants to make sure not to be too close to our safety car. And we also want this safe car go as nice as possible. If I was Krago, I would go now. Ooh, losing that rear, I think. And Krago's going to start to go, making sure to keep that rear in check. And Marconi getting an amazing safety car start. Marconi into the lead of the race. And look at that, that wet strategy definitely paid off. And VFL Faker just dropping down those wet tires, those intermediate tires are just too good. And Krago keep on board with him. You can see he's taking it so slow. That throttle control very well to keep it in a straight line. And Killer J and Little Juan. Is Killer J going to be able to challenge for P2 here? Little Juan does have no penalty, so Little Juan might still take the win. It all depends on mistakes. Now, obviously, in the wet, it is very easy to... all it takes is just a wrong in, but overcorrecting yourself when you go into the wall. Look at this, and that was a Ferrari running rather wide. And we see Krago now. Yeah, those dry tires really not paying off. And Draper! What happened to Draper? Yellow flags in sector 1 and 2, and he is absolutely sideways on that track. I'm not sure what happened to him there, but there is yellow flags. And Marconi's just going to want to try and run away. He does have a 5-second penalty. Little Fan has 1 and Killer J has 3. So as long as Killer J stays within 2 seconds of Marconi, then he will actually take P2. And this is going to be an interesting one. I think it's going to be hard for all the way to the end, as Dat Roland's going to want to try and move past Krago as soon as he can. Obviously, in the wet, it's rather difficult to go for an overtake. Darius will be disabled as well. Oh! And VFL Faker just catching Dat Roland, and that is Dat Roland's full front wing. Absolutely gone. That is not going to be good for him, and I think that's going to drop him right to the back as Little Juan overtakes Marconi, and that's not good for Marconi. And Killer J also going to make it past. Both of them burning through their overtake right now. Same amount of overtake per driver. Killer J is going to be forced to the outside line. On board with Marconi. On board with Jacko watching, and Marconi. Oh, just getting there. And Killer J gets up into P2. Masterclass of driving from all those drivers there. And I think it is now. We are on the final lap. I forgot about that one. On the final lap, and Killer J up into P2. Marconi P3. Jacko P4. But there's always time for changes as Faker drops down. Dat Roland with absolutely no front wing, just clinging onto as many positions as he can there. And he drops all the way down to 14th there. Was there an incident? I don't think so. I just think that wing damage is too much. As Faker drops down, those dry tires really aren't doing him any favours. And Tomo just running to get past, and VFL Faker is just holding him up massively there. Killer J now running away from Marconi, who's also running away from Arjaka. So I think that might be our podium set. I think it will be Little Juan, Killer J and Marconi. We are on the final lap, and there are still position changes, and I can't catch them all. There's too much going on as we're coming down to the final few corners now. Will Warrior Huntsman's not here. Krago and Fake are going to be kicking themselves for that one. As Little Juan, what a dominant performance through the penultimate corner, through the final corner, and the Little Juan Forerunner wins the Russian Grand Prix. Oh, a little bit of a spin of the line. Killer J bringing up in second, Marconi in third, Arjaka fourth, Pimis fifth. Ooh, Pimis sixth. Oh, there's a big change. 4-star up into third. Marconi just losing out on that podium because of penalties. Killer J, what a performance! My personal driver of the day to go from should have been in qualifying 2 to starting dead last to getting back up into second. Amazing racing there, lads. But look at that, and with penalties there's a lot of movement, and VFL Faker just slowly trundling now across the final corner. What an amazing race. Well done to everyone who's been racing here tonight, and that last one, and Killer J, what a performance to go from 20th all the way to 18th, and that driver of the day is very much deserved. Some amazing racing there. We've seen Little Juan absolutely dominating that race. That wet almost seemed to screw him up, but he powered through it and he got the win. Killer J 20th to 2nd. What a performance, man. My personal driver of the day, Killer J deserves that driver of the day. 4-star in 3rd, just really goes to prove that getting no penalties really helps out. Marconi 4th, No Fandangle 5th, followed by Jacko, Pimis, Red Sky, Luke 14 Knock, Warrior Huntsman, Crago, Tomo Tip Top, Dat Ronan, and the last driver getting points, VFL Faker. What a race. Well done, everyone. What an actual race. Absolutely dominant performance by Little One. Killer J working his way through the pack like a hot knife through butter. Absolutely amazing. And that is the Russian Grand Prix here at CRL Tier 3. What an amazing race, guys. That just about does wrap us up for this weekend. This week. Thursday, yeah, it's a weekend. But very well done to all the drivers, especially Little One and Killer J. Those two really stand out to me. And as usual, I will see you here same time next week for round 3. Round 3 will be, let me just have a check real quickly. Calendar. Round 3 for the Japanese Grand Prix up in Suzuka. So thank you all so very much for watching, and I will see you same place, same time next week. So to repeat, that is 7:30 Thursday night next week, back here for the Japanese Grand Prix. Thank you all for watching, and well done to everyone who competed tonight. And I hope to see you all again soon.